Hi, Connecticut worms and garden. How are you? So, hello everyone, and welcome to my live giveaway. I apologize for being tardy today. There is so much I have to prepare, and I'm not really feeling that well, so I'm a bit of a slow poke today. Hi, Han White. So, first, I want to thank you for your continued support over the last 2 years that I've been serious about YouTube. So, as you know, we're going to be having our live this our draw today. So if you're interested in joining the draw, sorry, then please give me your information. Let me know that not your private information now, but just let me know in the chat that you'd like to enter the draw. Some of you have already done so. And for those of you who have already done so, I've entered your name. I'll be using a clear container so you guys can see no foul play in choosing the winner. Your name will be entered on a piece of paper. The paper is going to be folded. Hi, Mom. The paper is going to be folded so I can't see the name, and I'm going to blindfold myself whenever I make the draw. That way, you'll know there is no foul play. Whoever wins, wins. Let's see. Connecticut Lisa says, "Oh, yes, I'm interested. I left my comment under your announcement video." Hi, Chanel. How are you? Okay, yes, I saw your comment and responded to it, Lisa. So you might see that I'm a bit distracted at the moment because I'm trying to prepare something to use as my blindfold. Hi, Patricia. Yes, I saw your comment as well that you are interested, excuse me, that you are interested in the draw. So I've already entered your name. Okay, mommy saying hi to Chanel. Me. You're interested in the draw as well, Shen? What are you gonna do with it? You don't have a garden, right? So do you for you, Shen, if you want to be in the draw, would you be interested in the grow lights or in the grow bags? Because you can have a little garden with your grow bags, even though you don't have growing space, you could always put it on your balcony. So if you're really interested, let me know and I'll put your name in the draw. Okay, you're welcome, Patricia. Okay, Connecticut Worms is saying hello to everyone. Let's see. Lisa says each of my worms would like to be individually entered as well. Let me ask you just one question. How many worms do you have? And if so, I guess I would have to be putting in everybody else's worms, right? So, Lisa, you're going to have to sit and count your worms and tell me exactly how many you have for me to put their names in there. And you're going to have to give each of them a name, right? Okay, yeah, you're just joking around, Shen. Okay, no worries. A little humor is good from time to time. Relax the face muscles. I know my face muscles need to relax. Let's see. Lisa says more worms than you have ever room in that jar. I can just imagine so. Yes, I can just imagine so. So if you're enjoying this live so far, please don't forget to give me that thumbs up. And occasionally, for the sake of entertainment and education, I'll be asking some simple questions that you guys may already know the answer to or should already know the answer to. So you can feel free to answer these questions. And the purpose of doing so is not just for entertainment, but as you know, my channel focuses more on providing practical information than anything. So even if we're doing something for fun, I still like to share a bit of information for those who are new to either worm farming or new to gardening. So occasionally I'll just ask a question, and if you're so inclined, then you can leave your answer in the chat. Yeah, so again, for those of you who didn't see this morning's video, if you're interested in the draw, then please let me know in the chat. So the prizes are, there's going to be a first place and a second place winner. The first place winner has the option to choose between the two prizes that I'm offering. One prize is two 24-inch grow lights, and the second prize is six 7-gallon grow bags. So the first place winner will have the option of choosing which of those they want, and then the other prize will go to the second place winner. Let's see. Renee says, "Hi everyone" in the chat. Yeah, so thank you all for joining the live. Did anyone else get a snowstorm last night? My dear, when you talk about snowstorm, I was just looking out the window just before I start the live, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, aren't we going to get a little break from it? Because last year we didn't get a lot of snow. In fact, the farmers had a really rough time because they didn't get the snow last year. But this year it seems as if it is out for revenge. We've been having some really weird weather. In fact, I even heard that some parts in Jamaica had temperatures going down to 15 degrees Celsius, which is like pretty much unheard of. Yes, but some parts of Jamaica had temperatures going down as low as 15. So I think it is right across the world that we're having some really crazy, crazy weather. We've been having snow for quite a long time now. There are some days that we escape the snow, but when we do get it, we're getting quite a lot. So I just had my snow shoveled yesterday, and today it is snowing again. So I'm like, there is no rest. Yeah. Okay, so 2021 was a really challenging year for most of us as gardeners. At the end of the growing season, some of us were either satisfied with our garden, disappointed with our garden, or fully satisfied. How do you feel about your 2021 garden? Were you fully satisfied, partially satisfied, or disappointed with how it turns out? Let's see. Lisa says, we have really caused damage to the planet and we are seeing the impact now. That is for sure. That is for sure. Okay, you did too, Renee. Renee, may I ask you what location you are in? I know you're in the States, but where in the States are you? Yes, it has been pretty crazy and it is our fault. So I guess while we complain, we can't complain too much because it is of our own doing. The good thing is that despite all the damage that we have done to the earth, mankind will not be allowed to destroy the earth fully. So it will continue to get worse, mark you. But at least we know that the earth will not be fully destroyed, and the point in time will come when all who are destroying the earth will be gone forever. So the earth will be restored one day. That's the good news. The bad news is that it will continue to get worse for a while yet. Let's see. Hi, Laura Jean. She said she had failures, but also many successes. Grew loofah for the first time, and for four, I was so happy. Oh, excellent. Yes, yes, that's pretty good. I had a lot of failures and success too. I didn't harvest nearly half as much as I was expecting based on my what I put in. I didn't quite get out what I was expecting, but I still had a fairly nice harvest. I know some gardeners weren't able to harvest much because of the extremes in weather conditions. So yes, so those of us who were able to harvest and be satisfied or at least be happy for what we harvest, yeah, we should be thankful because some didn't have it pretty good at all. Some had flooding, some had really dry temperatures, really dry seasons without rain. Some had extreme cold or extreme heat. So it was just a crazy year. And at the rate that this winter is going, I don't really know if the growing season for this year is going to be any better. So my resolve is I'm not going to be worrying about how bad it is. I'm just still going to be planting my garden. And then what I'm going to be doing different is I'm trying to keep in mind the various challenges that can arise in the garden, especially weather wise, and to see if during the course of this winter I can figure out ways that I can combat or at least lessen the damage to my plants. So that is going to be my focus for this year. Okay, so you are in Virginia. Okay, Renee. Okay, and Lisa says she's fully satisfied. Awesome. Awesome. Patricia said she's satisfied. It was hot in Texas and cucumbers didn't make it. Yeah, sorry about you to cook cucumbers. Let's see. Laura says she got 4 loofahs. Hi, my granny garden. How are you? Right, so today we're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So if you have anything that you'd like to discuss with the worm farming or gardening, then please feel free to do so. So here's a question for you guys. What are the 3 main causes of bottom end rot? Most people are familiar with 2 of them. Some are familiar with one, but there are 3 main reasons why tomatoes and other plants may suffer from bottom end rot. Overwatering. Okay. Um, I'm not sure about overwatering. I've never really heard of it causing it. Underwatering, I know, do cause it. So yes, overwatering. I'm gonna have to look into that one. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that I don't know of that. Yes, so not saying that your answer is wrong. Yes, so let's see. Connecticut Worm says high nitrogen levels is often a cause, but not the only. Okay. See, that's why I like to ask questions because you learn something else. Because I didn't know that the high levels of nitrogen could actually cause it. Let's see, Renee said, I had so many problems with the caterpillars. They took out a lot of my brassicas. Oh, I'm really sorry about that. Yes, I had a lot of problems with those caterpillars this year on my brassicas too. And unfortunately, because it was so hot, a lot of my brassicas didn't do too well in the first place. Some of them, after germination, they just didn't make it very far beyond that. And then for those few that I had, the caterpillars did get to them. And this year, because of an health issue, I wasn't really able to tend to the garden the way I used to. So a lot of the plants, I wasn't able to stay on top of a lot of the pests. I did my best though, so I guess I can't complain too much. Let's see, my granny garden says underwatering and lack of nutrients. Yes, those two. Patricia says too much water, too much fertilizers, not well drained. Yes, those are good. Uneven watering, rather. Okay, good. Yes, because there's one very important one that I haven't heard you guys mention yet. Oh, yes, Connecticut lady is on it. She says calcium deficiency usually comes up when I test the soil where I have blossom and dry. Okay. Hi, Millerth. I hope I pronounced that right. Lovely to see you streaming again. Okay, thank you. So, for anyone who is here on the live, if you want to be entered into the draw, then please let me know in the chat. Yeah, so and Laura says calcium deficiency. And let's see. My granny garden is saying hi to Patricia and Laura. Yes, lack of calcium. I mean to say blossom and rot, not blossom and end dry. Okay. Yeah, so those are the reasons why plants or fruits suffer from blossom end rot, because for the calcium that is vital for practically every plant, but there are some plants that need a higher amount of calcium than others. So your aubergine, your peppers, your tomatoes and stuff like that, they require a good amount of calcium. Now when you if you have enough calcium in your soil, but your soil doesn't have sufficient moisture or the right amount of moisture, then what it is going to do is prevent your plant from being able to absorb the nutrients, calcium and others from the soil. So that is another reason why, that is the reason why insufficient moisture can cause bottom end rot. Now, there is one more, and that is too much salt in your soil can cause bottom end rot. It can cause all sorts of problems if you have too much salt in your soil, because when you use artificial fertilizers that contain lots of salt, it over a period of time the salt builds up and it prevents your plant from being able to absorb the nutrients that it needs from the soil. So those are some pretty good answers that you guys gave. Good job. Keep it up. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Let's see. Connecticut Worms and Garden says, my very simple solution was to buy generic Tums, which is pure calcium, and bury it in the holes in which tomatoes plant. Okay, solve the problems. Okay, interesting. Yes, I always just grab milk because it is already in the liquid form, so it is easy for the plant to absorb the calcium that way. But that Tom idea is a pretty good one too. Okay, my granny's garden is saying hi to a few here on the live. Okay, good. Okay, so what are some of the benefits of companion planting? Yes, and with this one, I'm hoping to learn something too. Let's see. Okay, my granny garden is saying hi to Shen and Mom. Yes, so if you guys are enjoying the live, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Yes, the thumbs will slow release over all season long, so that is a pretty good way of applying it. So when you use milk, milk is always just a quick fix. And then if you're going to be using milk as a quick fix, it is recommended that you use other source that, like Connecticut Worms says, will slow release, because the plant is not just going to need milk or need calcium for a short period of time. So you want the quick fix, but you also want the long-term fix as well. So you use the milk in connection with other sources of calcium, whether you're going to be using ground oyster shell or ground eggshell or whatever means of calcium that you can provide. So let's see. Patricia says keeps bugs down. Yes. Renee says it protects your plant from pests. Excellent. Connecticut Worm says one of the biggest benefit is attracting beneficial insects. Yes, that too. Helps with bad insects and provide additional nutrients. Yes. And from my research, it also says that there are some companion plants that when you put them together, they actually enhances the other plant. So, for example, if you put two different plants together that are companion plants, they can enhance the flavor, they can enhance not just the flavor, but even the growth of the plant that it is beside. So, it has quite a few benefits when you companion plant. Not to mention that having a variety of plants, especially if you're putting flowers, using flowers as a companion, then how much it beautifies the garden. And sometimes when you companion plants, even if it is not a flower, sometimes these plants are various colors so they can add a lot of beauty. And we all enjoy seeing a beautiful garden, don't we? Yes, so let's see. Okay, Patricia says, like carrots and garlic companion planting. Absolutely. I haven't been doing a lot of companion planting. In fact, I only got serious about companion planting last year. Um, I've always heard of it, but never really put it into practice. But since last year, I started working on that. So hopefully, this year will be better where that is concerned. Unfortunately, this year, some of my attempts at companion planting didn't work out so well because with all the pest issues that I have, some of my plants didn't do so well. But as my motto says, there is no giving up. Failure is not an option. So if I fail, I'll just keep trying. Hopefully, this year I can have better luck. I'm not really someone who plants a lot of flowers, but I'm learning that a lot of the flowers are edible and a lot of them are good for companion planting for pest control and other reasons. So it's not that I have problems planting flowers, it's just that I don't really have a lot of growing space. So I always think, if I have to choose between the flowers and the vegetables, I'm going to go with the vegetables. Yeah, so this year for the first time I attempt to grow quite a wider variety of flowers. Most of them didn't do so well, unfortunately. But like I said, I don't believe in giving up, so I'm going to be trying a lot of flowers this year too. Let's see what happens. Okay, mommy saying hi to Granny's garden, and Connecticut lady saying dill planted around cabbage will keep the moth away. Okay, I guess I could try that. For me, dill has, I don't like dill. It has an acquired taste. I don't know if it's because I'm not used to it when I was growing up. But I do eat a lot of things that I wasn't used to when I was growing up. But dill just has an acquired taste. So if I'm growing it, I would have to grow it for just for the companion purpose, not really for eating. And my family doesn't like dill either. So I could plant it and give it away. My neighbor had a lot, or at least my previous neighbor, he planted a little lot in his garden. So when I first started my garden, lot of seeds would blow over to my place and I would have to be rooting out the plants and stuff like that. So if I decide to grow dill, I would have to ensure that it doesn't go into seeding because I don't want it spreading out into my garden at all. Let's see. Renee says, yes, adding colors to your garden makes your day in the garden so fulfilling. Absolutely, I agree with that. Let's see, Connecticut lady, Lisa, says, I don't like dill at all and don't eat it, but it is very cheap way to keep the cabbage healthy. Okay. Yes, I think I'm definitely going to be trying the dill because I think this is my third, 21 was the third year that I've tried brassicas. My kales, the various types of kale that I grew in 2020, they did well, but for my cabbages, oh no, they didn't do so well. They One of them, or one type, my Chinese cabbage in 2020, they had an issue and I still can't figure it out what it was. So since as I have a lot of you experienced gardeners here, maybe you can help me to figure out what it was that caused this problem. But my Chinese cabbage, they were doing well, growing. And then, as a lot of you may know, I'm someone who believes in cut and come again. Yes. So to prolong the life, especially because I don't have a lot of growing space. So cut and come again allow me to plant less plants and have a larger harvest. So I was doing the cut and come again with my Chinese cabbage, but then I noticed that all of a sudden the leaves started just looking like they were dying. They weren't turning brown or anything. They just started looking a bit mushy. And then the stem of the plant, the center of the plant, I noticed that they got soft and mushy. I could actually push my hand straight through the stem of the plant. And then the plant eventually died. So, do you guys have any experience with that and know what is the cause? Because I still haven't figured out what caused the stem of the plant to rot like that. Let's see. Laura says, I had almost no bugs this year in my garden. I planted marigold everywhere. Oh, nice. I tried marigold this year and I started them pretty early. And I was so disappointed with how long they take to produce flowers. They took forever. And some of them were just starting to produce flower when the growing season ended, and some of them grew pretty tall before they actually started flowering. Some of them were pretty short when they started flowering, and they're all the same variety, but some grew pretty tall. I had some 2 feet and more, some were just like a foot or less, but they didn't do so well. I don't know if it is because of the curly top virus that my plants were suffering from, but my marigolds didn't do so well. So I'm thinking this year, should I start from seeds? And if so, start it indoors maybe so that it will have enough time to flower. I know marigolds grow pretty fast. In fact, most people just direct sow the seeds, but they didn't do so well for me. So I'm thinking either I'm going to start the seeds early so that they have enough time, or I'm going to just buy the plants and then I can take cuttings from them. But so much I'm going to be doing differently this year. Let's see. Patricia says mint planted with cabbage keeps the moths away too. Yes, I attempted to grow quite a few mints. Some of them were doing well. And in the region where I had mints, the I didn't really have much issue with the pest, but then I didn't really have any of my cruciferous plants over there, so they didn't get any protection from it. But one of the things that I don't like with mint is the fact that it is invasive. So when I'm growing my mint, if I'm putting it with other plants as a companion, then I put it into a container by itself and then place that container in my garden among the plants. That way, I'll get the benefit from it without it invading the rest of my garden. But you have to be careful though, because if you're going to be putting the mints in containers and putting the containers in your garden, if you have holes in the bottom of your container, the root can spread. So when I'm putting these containers with my mints in my garden, I try to put the container into another container that, like a catchment tray that does not have any holes in it, to ensure that the roots doesn't spread. And if for whatever reason the root decide to be unruly and escape, as soon as I see it spreading, I try to root out those that I don't want. Let's see. Renee says, I'm having problems growing carrots, but I am not going to give up. Any suggestion for growing carrots? So, what is the problem that you have with your carrots? Is it that it's not germinating? Because for most people who have problem with carrot, that is their number one problem. But for some reason, it seems as if carrot seeds love darkness. They tend to germinate more when they are in dark circumstances, and if you're able to ensure that you maintain the moisture and not allow it to dry out at any given point in time, which is the case for all seeds, but then the carrots, you want to keep it moist, not too moist to rot your seeds, and make sure it is dark where you plant them. So, what a lot of gardeners have been doing to ensure that they get good germination from their carrot seeds is to cover it with cardboards or paper or plastic to keep it moist, dark plastic and the cover, yes. Or I've seen people go as far as to use wood. So they'll use pieces of lumber or pieces of plywood to cover the region where they sow their carrot seeds. And when they do a comparison with those that they actually cover the area where they have the carrot seeds and the areas where they don't cover the carrot seeds, the germination rate where they cover the seeds is a lot higher than where they didn't. So you might want to try that as an option. If anyone else has suggestions for you where that is concerned, then it would be nice if you would share. Let's see. Connecticut lady says ants. Ants will ravage the root of any brassica plant. Oh, see, I did not know that. Maybe I should jot that down so I don't forget it. Okay. Again, if there's anyone on the live who would like to have your name entered into the draw, please don't forget to leave your comments in the chat and let me know. Okay, so ants. Well, I do have a lot of ants in my garden. If they are not too much, based on what I consider to be too much, then I just let them be. But that year, 2020, when I had the issue with my brassicas rotting, I did have quite a lot of ants because I had a lot of aphids, and a lot of you may know that aphids and ants are good friends because they support each other. The aphids provide the ants with nectar from the plants, and the ants provide the aphids with transportation and protection from other preys that preys on the aphids. Yeah, so I did have quite a bit of ants that year. So maybe that is it. I don't know. But that's good to know. Thanks. Let's see. Laura says vine borers. Would vine borers attack brassicas too, given that they're not a vine? Patricia says underground slugs at the cabbage root. I don't have slugs in my region, but that's also good to know just in case I happen to move somewhere else where there are slugs. Laura says winter sow some seeds in milk jug. I did that for the first time last year, and I was quite disappointed because I had, oh my goodness, I had 14 jugs with 14 different types of seeds, all of them brassicas and lettuces, and I think two I got two lettuces from them. That's all I got from it. I don't know. I doubt that I put them out too early because one YouTuber that I used to follow, and she lives in Saskatchewan as well. She would do the jogs and put them outdoors, and she's had good success over the years. But I don't know what it is about mine. I don't know if maybe after using the jug, if I was supposed to occasionally open the jug and add moisture, or if I was supposed to allow little hair to get in, or I don't know what it is that I did wrong, but I only got two lettuces from them. So it would be interesting though. So if what is the process that you use when you're sowing in milk jugs. It would be nice to know exactly what is done to see where I went wrong, why I only had such low rate of germination. Let's see. Lisa says vine borers don't bother brassicas. It's not a crop they are attracted to, and brassica stems are much too hard for vine borers. Oh, okay. Laura says, sorry, I missed that she said cabbage. Thought she was talking squash. My bad. Okay. Renee says, winter sowing some carrots in milk jugs. We will see how they do. Fingers crossed. Okay. Let's see. Lisa says, Renee, carrots are pretty forgiving. They need very little light, non compacted soil. Add vermiculite or perlite to loosen if too hard, and they like sand added to the soil. Okay, good tip. Laura says cabbage don't transplant well. I've heard that quite a lot, but I do a lot of carrot transplanting. I don't start carrots indoors to transplant, but I'm one of those crazy ones who, forgive me if you're one of these persons and I'm calling you crazy and you take offense to it, but I'm one of those crazy ones who feel sorry for the plant when I plant them and then I have to uproot them to thin them out and then just toss them out. So because of that, if I uproot a plant in order to thin out the plants, then I try to replant it so as not to let it go to waste. Of course, I could always give it to my worms, but I still feel sorry for the plants even if I'm giving it to the worms. So I do transplant carrots. You just have to be very gentle with them. And I find that most cases when I do, some will die, but for the most part, they tend to survive. But yes, carrots, then you have to be super careful with them when if you're going to be transplanting them. And you don't want to wait until they are too old either because they don't really like you disturbing them. So I usually just transplant them when they're like 2, 3 inches tall and not older. Yes, but like the Connecticut lady says, they like loose soil. Let's see. Connecticut lady says, yes, carrots are not transplantable crop, even if they live, the root forks or twist. Oh, okay. Yes, well, I do have from time to time carrots that have twisted or forked roots, so I don't know, maybe that is it. I'm gonna put it to the test. Hmm, one more experiment to do. Yeah, so I think I'm going to get a container this growing season and plant carrots. And then those that I transplant, I'm going to transplant them by themselves and see what happens. That's good to know, though. Ah, yeah, so definitely going to be trying that. Okay, let's see. My granny says, yes, I'd like to be entered. Yes, I saw your comment earlier on this morning's video. So your name is already entered into the draw. Hi, Hands in the Dirt. How are you doing? And thank you very much. Yeah, so For those of you who are on the live who hasn't let me know yet, if you'd like to be in the draw, please leave it in your comment. And when we do the draw for the winners of the draw, my email is in the description of this live. So you can use that to contact me and send me your shipping information. Let's see. Laura says, if you are interested in winter sewing, I would suggest looking up Cheryl Man on YouTube, or even better, her Facebook group. I have learned so much from her tutorials and group. Okay, good. Thanks for that suggestion. Hi, Peggy. How are you? Renee is saying hi to Hands in the Dirt. So is Granny. My granny's garden. Yes, Renee said she'd like to be entered, and I saw your comment that you left earlier. So anyone who responded to my video this morning telling me that they would like to be entered into the draw, I did enter your name. So far, we have 11 participants. So I created a list with the number of participants, and then I have your names here. And so when it's time to do the draw, I'm going to be blindfolding myself. Your name is on the paper, and the paper is folded so I can't see which name is on it. But I'm going to be blindfolding myself just to ensure that in any paper that might be turned my way, I won't be able to see the names. So let's see. Let's see. Connecticut Worm says, oh, you don't put covers on winter sewn containers. The top needs to be open. Okay, maybe that is what I did wrong then, because I did put the cover on the bottle, but I did not seal it tight. I just turned it just a little bit so that the wind would not take it off. Yes, so maybe that is what I did wrong, because I noticed that moss was growing in some of the jugs. Yeah, so maybe that's what caused it. Yeah, so I'm gonna try it that way then. Let's see, and a lot of greetings taking place. Hands in the Dirt says, I do the same thing. Try to save every plant, and I have transplanted carrots. Okay, good to know I'm not alone. Uh, okay, next question. Can you name 3 reasons why seedlings die? There can be many reasons why seedlings die. So if you can name one, two, three, or more, that would be awesome. Let's see. Lisa says, I heat the carrots that I thin out. Okay, yes, that's a nice way to ensure that it doesn't go to waste. The little green tops are a delicious addition to the salad or soup. Okay, nice to know. I never really thought of doing it that way. I know that when I harvest my carrots and I have the very tiny ones, I like to use those. I don't throw them away. I like to use those for soup. Let's see. I've never added them to my salads though, but I think I would like to try that. Peggy says, I planted carrots directly in my clay pots. Okay. Patricia says, too much moisture, not enough sunlight. Yes, those are 2 reasons. Peggy says, soil's too wet. Mhm. Dumping off disease from too much water, not enough water, or temperature too cold. Yes, those are all reasons why seedlings die. Let's see. Hand in the dirt says lack of water and light. Renee says, yes, I put the carrot tops in my stir fry as well as soups and salads too. Okay, nice, nice. You know, since I start getting serious about YouTube few in the last 2 years, I've learned so much because there's so many things that we actually waste from the garden that we don't know we could actually use. Like, for example, learning that the carrot top is edible, or learning that you can use the turnip top or your beets top. I learned so much in the last 2 years. It is just crazy the amount of stuff that we actually waste. Yes, it's really crazy the amount of stuff that we actually waste. So I think getting serious about YouTube in the last 2 years has been a lot of blessing because I've learned so many tricks for gardening. I've learned so much because, as a lot of you know, that I try to make my channel as informative as I can, and then I like to learn from other channels that are informative. So because I want to make my channel informative, I have to do a lot of research to ensure that I'm sharing practical suggestions. So I've learned so much in the last 2 years, and yet still when I sit and listen to others, I'm like, I don't think I know enough. There's just so much to learn about gardening, and then things approach to gardening change from time to time, especially since pests never really go away, and you never really have to deal with the same pest all the time. So there's always pests that you're never encountered before, even if they're not new, but they're pests that you've never encountered before. So you have to find ways to deal with these. So YouTube is really a blessing because it is helping a lot of us as gardeners to learn how we can get the most out of our gardens. Let's see, my granny's garden says putting them outdoors without hardening them off. Okay, yes. Peggy says, I agree with you. Who knew marigolds are edible? Let's see, Connecticut lady says, if you have a problem with dumping off disease where the stem rot at the soil level, sprinkle cinnamon on very lightly. It has antifungal properties that kills fungus that causes it, and water less. Very good tip. Yes, that's a very good tip. And when you water your seedlings, it's a good idea to bottom water as opposed to watering your seedlings from the top. Oh, thank you, Chanel. Yes, so you want to water from the bottom and not the top because, one, when you have too much water in your pots, it is going to encourage fungus, as Connecticut worm says, and in addition to that, it may encourage fungus knots. Fungus knots do not affect the stem or the roots, the stem or the foliage of your plants, but they will eat the root of your plants. And it is not the fungus gnats themselves that are eating the root of your plants, it is their larvae that eats the root of your plants. So by bottom watering, you can help to control them, and then they feed on the fungus that overwatering causes as well. So, as Connecticut Worms and Garden says, you can use cinnamon to help to control that. Also, diatomaceous earth, you can use that to control the fungus knots, but the diatomaceous earth only works when it is dry. So, if you water from the top and the top part of your soil is moist, then the diatomaceous earth is going to be moist, but as soon as it dries out, then it will become effective again. Let's see. Renee says, I know I discovered you could eat the sweet potato leaves. I will be growing more sweet potatoes so I can have more leaves. They're so good. Yes, I learned that for the first time last year that you could actually eat the sweet potato leaves. Some say you can eat the potato leaves, but it is not recommended that you eat the potato leaves because of the high level of what is that thing called? That thing that the potatoes in general tend to have, especially when the potato is green, that can be harmful to humans. Yes, why can't I remember the term? But it's not recommended that you eat the potato leaves. The sweet potato leaves you can eat, and I tried it last year and it was quite delicious. But here is something you should know. Jamaicans always say the sweet potato foliage, women can eat it, don't give it to men. And I'm sharing that because Jamaicans are very concerned about certain things where men are concerned. So if you give it to your men, you know that when you have problems at certain times, that is the cause of it. So don't give the sweet potato leaves. I don't know what it is in the sweet potato leaves that affect men, but don't give it to the men. Okay, so let's see. Connecticut Worm says she's going to adopt me, so she will be my mama too. Okay. Having a lot of kids is good, especially those knowledgeable ones like the Connecticut woman. She can pass on her knowledge to me. Let's see. Hands in the Dirt says, yes, Renee, sweet potato leaves are delicious. Connecticut Worms and Garden says, solanine poisoning. Ah, that's the one I'm looking for. Thanks. Can happen from eating green potatoes. Yes. And they said it is in the stem and the leaves of the potatoes as well. So it's not recommended that we eat it. And unfortunately, boiling or whatever method is used to prepare your potatoes does not really reduce the level of the solanine. So don't use your potatoes if it's green, and don't use the foliage or the stem either. So, do you guys set goals for what you'd like to accomplish in your garden for a particular year? Um, I do so mentally. Yes, I haven't gotten to the point where I'm jotting down goals, but mentally I'd set goals like maybe I'd like to have another raised bed, or maybe I'd like to grow more of whatever plant. But I like to set goals because when I set goals, then it's easier for me to get what I want out of my garden. So, do you guys set goals for what you'd like to accomplish in your garden for a particular year? Or do you just take it as it comes? Yeah, so I have quite a few things or goals that I want to work on for my 2022 garden. So, I'm trying to work on that. So, one of the goals that I have is to try to find ways to ensure that my heat loving plants can get enough heat to keep them cool when the weather is, sorry, not to keep them cool, but to keep them hot when the weather is too cool. So, trying to find ways that I can set up my garden to ensure that my heat loving plants stay warm and that my cool weather crops can stay cool. Now, of course, sometimes doing so can be as easy as where in the garden you plant certain plants, or it can be where you might have to create covers, and the type of cover depend on what the outcome you're looking for is. For example, if you are looking for additional heat, then you would use some form of plastic to cover your beds or your garden. If you're looking for shade, then you can use shade cloth, you can use row covers. If you're looking for pest control, then you can use row covers and stuff like that. So those are some of the things that I'm trying to work on for my 2022 garden. I know I won't get everything done for 2022, but I'm setting the goals anyway and working towards them, because without setting it as a goal, I will accomplish less. Let's see. Connecticut Worms and Garden says, I used to be goal oriented, but after all my spinal injuries, I never know how much I'll be able to do outside. So much less rigid on myself. Okay. Okay. Hands in the Dirt says, yes, I draw out my garden bed and dimensions to maximize my space and know where I want to plant crops. Okay, good. Renee says, yes, I have my list, because if I don't, I find I don't get a lot of things accomplished in my garden. I get easily distracted. Yes, I'm like that too. I don't really get a lot done if I don't set goals. So, like, when it comes to like the layout of my garden, stuff like that, I don't really put them in writing. I just go outside during the winter and look at the space and says, okay, what can I do here? What shape would my bed take? And stuff like that. What can I plant in this region? But then when it comes to what I'm going to planting in individual beds, those I keep in writing. What I want to companion plant, those I keep in writing, stuff like that. Yes. And another goal that I have is for each region, the start and end date of the growing season differs. So the start and end date of the growing season, depending on the region you have, the suggestions that are given is usually just suggestions. So, for example, your first frost or your last frost date, those are usually just guidelines, but sometimes you can find that you're having warmer weather earlier than usual, or you might have warmer weather later than usual, or vice versa. It could be colder towards the start of the growing season, or colder towards the end of the growing season, or before the end of the growing season. So, what I'm trying to do this year is to try to prepare myself where whichever of these circumstances occur, I already have some idea of how I want to combat it so that I can get the most of the garden. I might not be able to get all of this done, but at least I want to have in mind some of the things that I can do to maximize my output. Let's see. Peggy says, not really. At this point in my life, one day and project at a time. Okay. But I do try to have a list of what I've done, and I had just the next project. Okay, well, that's a good way to do it. Let's see. Patricia says, I set goals. My goal this year is okra, trying to find gumbo okra seeds because they are kind of dwarf, but unable to find them, so I will plant the usual 6 feet okras. Okay. And Han says, yes, she is, Shaniel. Oh, thank you, my dear. Let's see. Laura Jean says, I plan what I want to grow and make it fit where I feel like it afterwards. So, okay. Okay, so those are all good ways of setting goals and ensuring that we meet our goals. So, do you guys have a favorite plant or a favorite vegetable or fruit that you like to grow? Okay, I'll wrap it up soon. For me, I like to go. Oh, hi, Tana Holmes Gardening. How are you? Yes, thank you very much. And if you would like your name to be entered into the draw, please let me know, because I'm going to be doing the draw pretty soon. It's time for my daughter to get back to school. So She's doing online schooling, so she has to be out of the classroom for now, doing it somewhere else. Let's see. Connecticut lady says all of them. I never met a vegetable I didn't like. However, rare heirloom tomatoes have been my biggest obsession. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Carrots and tomatoes are my favorite. And callaloo, of course. I can't leave out the callaloo. Some may know callaloo as amaranth. Okay, so last chance to get your name in if you want to be in the draw. Sweet corn can't can't be too much for you. Okay. I'm the opposite where corn is concerned. I don't really like sweet corns, but I love corns, but I can't get the type of corns that I love here, unfortunately. So I just have to put up with I don't really plant sweet corns. I try to get a corn that is pretty close to what I'm used to in Jamaica. So I try to get I plant the flint corn because they taste closer to the Jamaican corn. The only sad thing is that for the flint corn, they get hard very fast. I don't mind my corn being hard, but the level of hardness that flint corn has when it matures is very hard. So I have to harvest it before it gets too mature. Let's see. Okay, my granny's garden saying hi. Laura says, I grew yellow pear tomato this year and loved it. Okay. I haven't really branched out much with tomatoes. I'm kind of timid. We're trying a lot of stuff are concerned, not in terms of taste and stuff like that, but because of so many plants have been genetically modified, I don't know which plants, which varieties are genuine and which are not. So, and a lot of the seeds will not tell you that they are genetically modified. Some will tell you, so, because of that, I'm afraid to try different varieties of tomatoes and peppers and stuff, especially these ones that I'm seeing these days that are so colorful. I'm like, are those naturally occurring or is it that they have been modified? So, for that reason, I'm kind of afraid to try a lot of stuff. They do look nice, they look very nice, but I don't really want to be putting a lot of things in me that I don't have to if they are not going to be too good for me, irrespective of what I might be missing out in terms of flavor. So, of course, if they're naturally occurring and they haven't been modified, I'd be happy to try them. Let's see. Let's see. Connecticut lady says, I answered your question about amaranth because it grows wild so much here. I don't have seeds, but I offer you quinoa seeds if you're interested. Okay, sure, I'm interested. Let's see. Renee says, I planted not butternut squash for the first time. I really enjoyed it. I want to grow it too. I've never grown it. But after watching Hannah White's gluten-free recipes using those butter squash, I'm like, oh, that looks some interesting. Like I'd really like to try it. So yes, I'd really like to grow the butternut squash and see how that turns out. Renee says, I plant, oh, read that already. Peggy says, I grew giant Japanese red mustard greens last year. It was delicious and is still growing from the fall planting. Nice. I just started two planters with seeds and I will harvest them, harvest when the leaves are young. Okay, cool. Hi, Makiyahe. Okay, so Tana Home Gardening says I'm to enter here. Let's see. Connecticut Worm says, every seed I own is heirloom and non-GMO. Okay, awesome. If a plant is labeled as heirloom, it cannot be hybrid or genetically modified in any way. Heirlooms mean unaltered throughout history. Yeah, okay, that's good. Okay, now it is time to do the draw. Okay, you're adding in some butternut squash seeds. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, who is it gonna be? Is it you? And let's see who the first place winner is. Oh my goodness, the first place winner. Who is it? The first place winner is Cece. Congratulations, Cece. You are the first place winner. You have the choice to choose whether it's going to be the grow lights or if it is going to be the the 6 7 gallon grow bags. So congratulations again. You can just use the email below to send me your details and I'll prepare that for you. Oh, you're very welcome. Okay, let's do that again. We're going in for the second draw and let's give it a shake. Let's see, should I take that one or that one? Who is it gonna be? Let's see. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Oh, you'd like the grow lights? Okay. Let's see. And the second place winner is Connecticut Worms and Garden. Congratulations, Connecticut Worms and Garden. You're the second place winner. Let's see. Connecticut Worms and Garden says, gosh, I'm so excited.
A patty.
Why are you here? Okay, so we have made our draw. Thank you guys for your participation. Again, if you send me your information using my email that is in the description below, then I will be able to ship those to you. I have a cold, so I won't be shipping it anytime soon because I don't really want to go out on the road just yet. And when I say any time soon, I mean until my cold is recovered. So in the meantime, I'm going to be preparing your packages. And as soon as my cold is better, I will be shipping it off to you. So congratulations to our first place winner, Cece, and our second place winner, Connecticut Worms and Garden. Let's see, Connecticut. See, they're saying a lot of congratulations. Connecticut Worms says, if I could jump, I would, but I'm jumping on the inside. Okay, cool. Yeah, so everyone is saying congratulations to the winner. Okay, Connecticut. Let's see, Peggy says, congratulations to you both and congratulations on your 1,000 plus subscribers. Okay, thank you very much, Peggy, and to all of you for your support. I couldn't have gotten this far without you. Hopefully, you will continue to support me, and I'll continue to do the same for you guys. Let's see, Connecticut Lady says, thank you, everyone. This was a great chat. CC says thank you. Tana Holmes says congratulations. Patricia says congratulations. Honey saying congratulations to the winners. And my granny's garden says congratulations on your 1,000 subscriber. Thank you very much. Laura says congratulations everyone. Thank you. And congratulations on the 1,000 subscribers. You deserve it. Okay, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Um, Connecticut Worms and Garden says, "Oh my goodness, I'm waiting to get to 100 subscribers, and this wonderful lady is past 1,000. No matter how many I get, I will always be a follower here." Okay, excellent. Right. So one of the things that I usually recommend where subscribing to one another is concerned is that you don't subscribe to someone if you're not interested in their channel, because, well, it helps them in terms of the number of subscribers, but it would be a nice idea if we could watch each other's channel, because a lot of people do sub for sub, but then they will reach 1,000 subscribers, but they find that they have to wait a really, really long time to get the views that is required. So for me, my goal is always more views than subscribers, because the views is what is most important. Yes, you need 1,000 subscribers, but when you reach the point where you're monetized, if you're not getting enough views, you won't be earning much. And I'm not really earning much, but my views are not too bad. Per video, my views are terrible, but the overall views of my channel is good. So my recommendation is, if you're joining someone's channel, then support them by watching and leaving your comments, because you're going to need the views. You can have 1,000 subscribers and have 1 million views and make more money than if you have 1 million views and 1,million subscribers and just 1,000 views. Views are more important, so support each other. And something that a lot of YouTubers who has reached the 1,000 notice is that once you reach 1,000, then you lose a lot of your viewers, because they think that you are there once you reach the 1,000. That is not the case. So support each other, guys. Be genuine about it. If you don't like someone's channel, don't subscribe to them. That is my suggestion. Don't subscribe to them unless you really like their channel, because if you don't like their channel, you're not going to be watching their videos. So be supportive of each other and do your best. Once you do your best, you will eventually get there. And when you reach 1,000 subscribers and you're monetized, you're still not there yet. You still want to keep growing. So let's be supportive of each other. And let's see. Connecticut says, if anyone has not subscribed to my channel, please do if you would. Let's see. Renee says, thanks so much. I had a great time. Congratulations on your 1,000 subscribers. Have a blessed day, everyone. Okay. Thank you, Renee. Thanks for your participation as well. Let's see. Um, Connecticut says, thank you so very much, White Davy. Oh, you're very welcome, my dear. And she says, I will pick a playlist from a channel I follow and let it run in the background, even if I can't watch it at the moment. View hours is what matters most. Yes, that I definitely agree with. And that is something that I try to practice a lot too. Sometimes I am busy and I can't really watch the person's video that they just put out. So what I tend to do is, as soon as possible, I try to watch it, or if I can't watch it, I try to listen to it, because even if I don't have the time to comment or I don't have the time to watch it, I can listen to it. They are getting the views, so they can benefit from it. And sometimes I'll watch it and then I'll go back later on and try to leave a comment. And sometimes, based on the comment that I leave, you can say, "Oh, this person didn't just watch my video because the comment is just like Yeah, because I'm very forgetful, so I will watch it or listen to it. But if I don't get to comment right away, I can't really give an in-depth comment on it. But anyway, running someone's playlist is a very good way of supporting each other. So you can do that to help each other out, and especially for those of you who find that you're getting far more subs than you're getting the views, you can privately email each other and say, okay, can you run my playlist? And I'll run your playlist. Or another thing that you can do is you can add a few of that person's video to one of your playlists. So you create a playlist specifically for that, and you add a few of your videos to that, well, a few of that person's videos to your playlist, and they had a few of your videos to their playlist. So you can support each other that way as well. So when someone who follows your channel is watching your playlist, then that person is also getting views. Let's see. Connecticut Worms and Garden says, oh my goodness, you just said what I just typed. Okay. Yes. And another thing that I tend to do when I'm going to my bed, I just plug in my device to make sure that it doesn't run out of charge. And I find somebody's playlist and I turn the volume all the way down so that I don't hear anything, and just run that playlist for the night. So, and then I just keep doing that so that the person can get views. So that is another way if you don't have time. And that's another way that you can help out those who are your faithful subscribers. Let's see. Peggy says, beautifully said. I try to watch each one from the beginning to the end, and I try to leave a positive comment. Yes, that is the next thing too. I am watching the video in its entirety is a pretty good way of supporting each other rather than just watching a part of the video. Yes, and then it messes with the person's algorithm. So yes, they're gaining watch time, but when you watch the first minute or the first couple seconds of the video, it actually messes with the person's algorithm, because YouTube will push the videos that are getting full views or half view or three-quarter view. But if it is only getting like very few views and then no one is watching it, then YouTube won't be pushing it. So if you're watching the video, even if you don't have the time to watch the entire video and you see what you already want to see, just let it run in the background and do what it is that you need to do. But letting it play in its entirety is a very good way of supporting each other. And to be honest, there are times when someone might put out a video. We are not always interested in every video that a person puts out. So if that is the case, you can still be supportive by watching the ones you are interested in and not watch the rest. There's no harm in that. What is important is that you're supporting that person's channel. So you don't want to just stop watching the person altogether. You want to watch the ones you're interested in. If you're not interested, then fine. But support each other whatever way you can. Let's see. So my granny's garden says, I try to support everyone I subscribe to. And Connecticut says, Granny, me too. If I subscribe on someone, it's because I believe in them and value their content. So therefore, I would take the time to watch everything and comment as well. Yes, that is a pretty good practice. White Davis says, I sent you my mailing address in one of our earlier email. Do you need me to send it again? No. If you I'll just look at your email. Oh, hi LP. He says, oh, I almost missed you. Have been outside shoveling. You've got a whole bunch of snow. Oh, we got a whole bunch of snow, and I finally feel good enough to go outside. How are you? Okay, I am doing well. I'm just so sorry that you came when I'm about to close down the live, but good to know you were able to at least get some of your shoveling done outside. Tana Home Gardening says, I'm by watching video to the end and show some love. Okay, excellent. Yes, it's nice. It's nice to be supportive of each other because we are all in this together. We all have our goals that we want, that we set. Some are interested in being monetized, some are not. Some are just there just to share their knowledge or just to share what they're doing in their garden or in their worm farm. But whatever the case may be, they're putting it out there for a reason. So we should be supportive of each other. There are those who want to make YouTube their source of income, their only source of income, or some just want to use it as a means of subsidizing their income. There are those who have no other choice. Their circumstance doesn't allow them to go out and work, so they're trying to use YouTube as their means of income. So, whatever the case may be, they might not share it with you, but it is a good idea to be supportive of each other. Now, on that note, I am going to be very honest with you guys. If I'm watching your video, I watch it from start to finish. If you subscribe to me and I'm subscribed to you, and I see that you stop watching my videos, there's no way I'm going to be watching yours. That's just the way it is. And it's not that I have anything against you because everyone is free to choose what videos or whose video they watch. But the thing is, watching videos and all those things, you see this, I'm wearing a glasses now. I spend so much time in front of the screen that my eyesight is not as good as it used to be. So if you can't take the time to support my videos, then honestly, I'm not going to take the time to support yours because I'm burning out my eyes. So for that reason, if you're not supporting my channel, then I'm just not going to. If you're subscribed to me and I'm subscribed to you, I don't unsubscribe from people. If I know specifically that you unsubscribe from me, then I will unsubscribe from you most of the time. Sometimes I don't, most of the times I will. But yes, I try my best to be as supportive as I can be. See, Connecticut Worm says, oh yes, everything comes with a bit of love. LP says, I will go back and listen to the replay too. I do my best to watch the whole video, especially if I'm subscribed to the channel. Okay. Connecticut Worms and Garden says, I didn't know there was a way to see who was watching your videos. I must look into that. Okay, so to know who is watching your videos, it is they leave comment. Some will leave comments, some will not. So you won't always know everyone who is watching your channel. But if someone is watching your channel and if they are YouTubers who do videos and they want your support, if they want your support, they are going to make sure they comment on your videos because that is the only way that they can let you know that they are watching your videos. And I look for people who comment and the type of comment that they give. Mark you, there are some who doesn't speak very good English, but they watch your channel anyway. So they know a little English, so they will watch your channel. There are some who will pretend as if they watch your channel, but based on the comment that they give, you know for a fact they did not watch your channel because the comment is so unrelated to whatever they are saying or stuff like that. So that is how you know if someone is watching your channel. Now, where subscription is concerned, unfortunately, people are able to hide those who they are subscribed to. They are able to hide that information, so you can't always tell who is subscribed to you. There are some who will leave that information open. I have nothing to hide, so I leave that information open. There are some who will hide that information not because they have something to hide, but because some YouTubers will watch how many subscribers you have, and then they will stop supporting you because you seem to have too many subscribers for their liking. So for that reason, there are some who will hide how many subscribers they have or and stuff like that. So there are various reasons why people hide their subscription, but I don't really care because my belief is If the person is genuine towards your channel, they're going to subscribe and they're going to stay. Sometimes you have genuine subscribers who follow you right through. You have genuine ones who will follow you for several months. You have some who will follow you for a few years and then they just disappear. But if the person is genuine, they will stay for however long they can. So for that reason, I just leave mine open. So who wants to check whether I'm subscribed to them can check if they want. I don't believe in sub for sub, but I like to support channels. So I'm not going to say, okay, this person subscribed to me, so I'm going to subscribe to you, or I'm going to subscribe to you just so that you can subscribe to me. I don't believe in doing that because the purpose of my channel is to provide practical information and entertainment. So, for people who enjoy watching gardening videos or people who are looking for ways to improve their gardening skills or their worm farming skills, then if they want to subscribe to my channel, you're welcome. But I don't want to have subscribers who are just doing it just so that they can get a head count on their channel. I want genuine people who want to benefit from my channel. So for that reason, I don't really pursue the sub for sub, which you'll notice that it took me 2 years from the day I got serious, which was January 2020, about my channel. It took me actually 22 months to reach the point where I had 1,000 subscribers, because the sub for sub thing, it does not really work out. You will see so many subscribers reach 1,000 and they reach it so quickly, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what are they doing that they're reaching so far so fast? But then when they reach the 1,000 subscribers, they're like, help me build up my hours, please help me build up my hours, I don't have enough hours. It is because they go for subscribers that are not genuine. So it is difficult to make the hours. So my suggestion is look for those who are genuine and your channel will grow. It might not grow as fast as you'd like it to, but you will get there eventually. Let's see. And White says, well said, me too. Okay. Connecticut Worms and Garden says, oh, okay. There is a channel I subscribe to that I really like and watch all the person's video and always leave a positive comment, but they have never subscribed back, nor do they watch my videos. You're going to find a lot of that. You're going to find a lot of that. And there are channels like that that I subscribe to, but I do so for because I like the channel, not necessarily because I want them to subscribe back to me. And one of the things that I don't do, some people do it, and there's nothing wrong with doing it. Piggybacking, if you want to piggyback, that is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't really subscribe to a channel simply because it is a big channel. No, I don't do that. That is, each person has to decide for themselves whether or not they want to do that. But that's just not for me. If you're a big channel and I like what you're presenting, then fine, I'll subscribe to you. But if you're a big channel, I'm not just gonna subscribe to you to be piggybacking. Piggybacking, where you subscribe to that person because you're hoping to get recognized by using that channel. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, it is one of the ways that is recommended that you use that method if you want to grow your channel. So you subscribe to the big channel and you try to leave your comments. But most of the big channels, they will not recognize you because they are too busy. There are too many people on that channel that they have to respond to. So they won't recognize you. And the benefit of being subscribed to those persons is that others who are subscribed to them will see your channel when you make a comment, if you fall within the first set of people who comment on the channel. But yeah, so subscribing to a large channel with the hope that others will see you and subscribe to you. That's what I mean by piggybacking. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I just don't. Because what I want is the genuine subscribers. That's what I'm looking for. So I just take my time and go. If you're genuine, you're going to come and you're going to stay. If you're not genuine, you're going to come and you're going to leave. So That's just the way I do mine. It doesn't mean that that's the way you have to do yours, and it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with the way you do yours. Even if it is sub for sub you're doing, it doesn't mean that it is wrong. It just means that is the option you choose. But because I'm looking to grow with genuine people, for that reason I don't do the sub for sub and I don't do the piggybacking. Let's see. Peggy says, "Wow, you're full of knowledge and wisdom." I wouldn't really say that I'm full of knowledge and wisdom. I just try to learn as much as I can for whatever it is that I'm involved in so that I can get the best outcome. Yeah, but there is still a lot that I need to learn. Connecticut Gardner says, "Oh, no, 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 that's not my approach. Genuine long term subscribers will find you without having to be subscribed to a famous channel." Yes, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, definitely agree with that. Anyway, I am going to be saying goodbye to you in the next minute because my daughter says she doesn't want to be out there. She wants to be in the classroom doing her work. Unfortunately, I share my office with her, so I'm going to have to say goodbye. Congratulations again to you winners. And let's see. And White says, everything you do or choose to do on your channel, someone out there is interested. That is true. If it is some gimmicks or it is something serious or whatever it is, there will always be those who are interested in it. So, with time and due diligence, they will find you. My suggestion is for growing your channel, make sure that you are consistent with uploading your videos. So if you can do one video for the month or four videos for the month or two videos for the month, the most important thing is to be consistent and find something that you love. Make sure that your videos are about things that you love. But while you're doing things that you love, focus on what your viewers want rather than what you want to show your viewers. Because if you try to make your videos viewers oriented, then you will find that you get more views. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for all your support. I hope to see you guys again soon in my next live, provided I'm feeling well. Will be on Monday. So, thank you again. I hope you stay safe and I hope you will have a wonderful weekend. And thank you. Child, you can come back now.